Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I'm live. Right now, we are in the middle of the national anthems. I think the game is running a little bit late, but welcome everybody to another episode of the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Joseph Mokwena, I'm your host, and this, of course, is a place where we love South African football and we love African football. And luckily for us, we're getting a game where we're going to see the national team, Bafana Bafana, take on Panama again. Oh, Taraman, thank you so much. Panama again. On this day, hey, in an international friendly. Now, the last game ended 1-1. Of course, we saw it. That's how it went. And then today we're going to be looking for a little bit more of an exciting game because on the Panama side, they've made quite a few changes, as well as Bafana Bafana bringing in some more of those first team players. But I first want to say welcome, everybody. Remember, this is a very interactive show, so halftime, I'm going to let 5 people in who are then going to commentate with me. So you're going to come in and you're going to analyze from what you're seeing in the game. I'll ask you, and then if we can reach 25,000 likes, I'll keep it open for the second half, and we'll be able to then continue on in the second half where everybody will be able to jump in and tell me exactly what they're thinking. And you do that, bottom of your screen, there's a button that says multi-guest, got a blue figure hugging a pink figure. You click on it, you request, I let you in. We have a conversation. If you're watching on YouTube, you join me live here on TikTok. Bafana Bafana, how are you guys? How Tochi? Welcome Tochi. Tins, how you doing? Peto's early. Jeez, now what's going on? Okay, so let's get back into the stats of everything. Bafana Bafana, of course, 60th in the world, 11th in Africa, whereas Panama are 34th in the world, and then they are 4th in the CONCACAF conference. In the last 5 games, of course, they have the draw from Bafana Bafana. They lost to Mexico, they drew with Bolivia, they beat El Salvador and Guatemala, and then, of course, Bafana Bafana, on the other hand, have the draw versus Panama. Then you have to go back to the 4th of January for the Cameroon game, which we lost 2-1, and then of course we had beaten Zim and lost to Egypt and beaten Angola. Now, starting lineups for this game, we have Williams in goal. We have Okon, we have Mbogazi, we have Motaung Mudiba, we have Mokwena, Adams, Mfukeng, Moremi, Hlongwane, and Foster. Very, very interesting to see how Foster and Hlongwane are going to play with each other. Then, of course, Panama have Mosquera, Murillo, Ramos, Cordoba, Gutierrez, Godoy, Harvey, Carrasquilla, Rodriguez, Paria, and Diaz as the starting lineup. Guys, please let me know there in the comments. Le ring score, Pela Rebabone, Badajile 1-1. How do we feel about how the score is going to be this time for this game? Fezile, shout out to Fezile, shout out to Daraman, shout out to Klochi for the gifts. Thank you guys so much on that side. Oh, Cindy, no shaking today because Axi Perez, guys, Chiefs as a women's team, by the way. Hey, I might have to say goodbye to Banyana Bastyle, man. Kawane, home team, impizite, I don't know. Hey, what's happening here? I'm watching it on SABC 3, which means that if it's on SABC 3, it's probably going to be on the SABC Plus app. And then also, if you go to sabcsports.com, there's a live TV section where you'll be able to watch it. It may even be on the Facebook page. So, for those who want to know where to watch it, that is where you're going to find it. So Williams is going to play each and every game. What's the point, says Mel. 3-1 to Panama, says Melvin. Wendy says we're winning today. Mel says 2-1 to Bafana. Bonk says Chiefs now. Yes, I saw, Bonks. I saw. Kiachor, I might have to leave Banyana Bastyle, man. Mara, technically, Chiefs' team is in the Sesol League. It's not Hollywood Pets yet, so Reka. Anyway, Bonk got his shirt. Okay, so very interesting. I said in my review that it feels as though Bafana Bafana is stuck in a transition. So they're stuck between playing the Hugo Bruce football, which is essentially route 1, direct ball, Mahopa, or your striker wins that ball. Oh, we even have fire, go Cape Town. Sure, Bafana, things have changed. This route 1 type of football where they cheat to get into those spaces where you have midfielders, 2 midfielders that don't necessarily play the ball. They're there to just be bodyguards. They're there to help out at the back. And a lot of the playmaking lies on Williams. We saw the first half, we saw the first half of the game that we played versus Panama last time, where it was still a lot of what Sundowns is doing right now. So Sundowns is building through Mudiba, building through Mudau. Those are the guys who are carrying a lot of the burden of playing the ball at Sundowns, and Hugo Bruce adapted that. But in the second half, when we saw the more mobile Bafana, when we saw Abomfuke, Adams coming in and becoming a live wire, somebody who can actually play the ball from the midfield. I think Abombata also came in at some point. I think it then showed that there are two types of Bafanas that are in play, and Hugo Bruce has a big question to answer as to whether he's going to be able to choose one, either to continue with what he's done or to go to what he's going to do now with we're seeing Abomfuke starting. So very, 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 very interesting questions and answers that we're going to see here. Now Mbogazi makes it back into the squad. He says that Mbogazi was still dealing with the jet lag, so he didn't want to bring him 7 hours. He said it's a 7-hour flight from Chicago to get here, so he didn't want to play him immediately in that game, but I guess he had wanted to. So we're going to see Bogazi and Okon come together. Very, very interesting, because both of those guys are stature players. They're a little bit more physical, they're a little bit more bigger, you know. Umbogazi Siamazi Insizwa. Insizwa, and then you've got Ocon. So maybe we're trying out to see whether a more physical backline is something that we can do, especially going to the World Cup. And you also know that you can trust a little bit on Bogazi to have that playing out. Bogazi, of course, one of the more important players there at Orlando Pirates in terms of playing the ball, getting the ball out, being a playmaker, long balls, what. We're also seeing Mokwena and Adams in the midfield, which is something, of course, we've seen at Sundowns before, but it hasn't really been something that Bafana Bafana really wants to play. So that's also very interesting. I think Adams, in comparison to hey Panama, sis, selfish, yo. Wait. Where's my sounds? Oh,
Kakase.
What Kakase? Why are you Kakaseling, my brother? Relax. Go.
Yo. Okay. So what I was saying is that I think Adams is more of the ball carrier that we speak of when we mention Umbata. Adams does come back and fetch the ball, does carry the ball a little bit better. Umbata, not to take anything away from him, Talente, for me, he's a great player in the final third. Once you cross the halfway line, Umbata comes alive. But at least with Adams, you get a little bit more of an active midfield. And maybe you give options to the defense when building out. You saw when Adams came on, when Mahupa came on, even Williams was a little bit more comfortable with playing those balls. He was playing long balls to Mahupa, he was playing balls into the midfield. It gives you a little bit more options when you're building. What's also very interesting is that Mfukeng is starting in this game, so we're going to see how he's placed, because I don't know how you're going to fit Mfukeng, Moremi, Hlongwane and Foster. And does that mean that Hlongwane is going to take one of the wings as we see him here, and is that something that he's good at, or are we just trying to see what that's going to look like? Would we see maybe a 4-4-2 type of thing that happens? But it does seem like Hlongwane is going to be on the right hand side. It seems Fukeng is in the middle, and then Muremi is on the right hand side. So let's see how the 10 of Bafana Bafana functions when they actually have a midfielder that can collect and connect the ball in Adams. So let's see how that pans out. Yeah, guys, SABC Plus paid me, guys. So Copa downloading app, it is free. No, it's the second. So we're playing them twice, Makeda. We're playing them twice. SABC 3, guys. I'm watching it on SABC 3. Yeah, it's okay quality. Oh, that was so selfish. Wow. Timang Rodriguez. The game has started. That is the live time, guys. We're 4 minutes into the game. Okay, so Rinaledi, I have my water. I'm not going to crash. Okay. I'm gonna control myself. I'm gonna control myself. Please, I'm gonna control myself. It's fine.
Why pass on my wife? Okay, let me see.
Let me see. Why are second choice goalkeeper not playing in this? It's interesting. I don't know if you want your second choice goalkeeper to play. Goalkeeper is one of those positions that I don't think you change too much. So I don't see a problem. That's why even when they said Chain was left out, I thought to myself, yeah, it's not going to make much change. I mean, Bafana Bafana is looking at how many games? Maybe World Cup is going to be 3 games. In the national team setup, I think there's some positions that you don't change. Oh, why don't you play the ball? Nazo? Bafana on the counter? Bit too much. What happened to Yas Tole? He started every game at AFCON. Now I don't see him anymore. Bruce called him lazy. I get it. Bruce said he was lazy. No, he called Laos Foster lazy. I think Tole hasn't quite been on his game. And I think also that positioning of him and Mokwena is also making it hard. So maybe this is the time where you start to see them playing a lot more and wanting to play a lot more. You see, there's Adams. There's Adams picking up the ball from the center. This is what you want. Nango, Mnige. Happy Rotman Adams now. Rotman Adams, he cut his hair. There was a time when he cut his hair, but Rotman now. I didn't see Bongs. Masi, how are you doing? Unfortunately, I can't. These rights are paid for, and I cannot be here getting sued by SABC. So please, guys, I can't show you the game, but there are places to watch it for free. SABC Plus, the SABC Sports website, and then also it might be on the Facebook page as well for free. The midfield doesn't exist. Rile must be moved to the left. 10 is not good for him. Lebza, I don't want to say too much about 10. Now when I speak about the 10 situation, I'm told things, so I don't want to say anything, honestly, personally. Oti, we have a problem already. Who is this 15th? It's Hlongwane. He plays in the MLS. Hlongwane. I know him as a striker. I don't know why Bamo forced. Ow! Tata TLP. Okay, minimum 3 games, Lerato. You're gonna play minimum 3 games. Go World Cup. And according to Coach Bruce, try be the best third place team to qualify for the things. Injury reduced. Yeah, Stole is not the same guy. You can tell Zwane is the engine of Bafana Bafana. Do you know what was funny? To go back to the conversation about the 2 different Bafanas, notice how that first half Bafana that we say we don't like, Lau Foster, Stole, all of those guys, they created way more chances than the second half. And it goes back to that conversation we always have, Guti, Ubumnandi bu effective, or Ubumnandi is entertaining and we love it, but when we look at the actual play, right, the first half team could have been 3-1 up if it wasn't for some very bad finishing from Abu Muremi. I mean, Bruce spoke about it there. So, how do you guys feel about that conversation, that the boring Bafana that played the first half versus Panama created way more clear-cut chances than La they were moving around and they were passing the ball and they were, hey, Begumnandi. How do you guys feel about that? And should we take that into account, or do you still want to see Ipola Letu, the exciting Pola, be played and then not really get the results that way? I mean, it's an argument we've had about, for example, Evidence Makgopa. For everything you say about Evidence Makgopa, a lot of Pirates' trophies of the past few years, he was the guy who was playing really, let's be honest. In Bafana Bafana getting to 3rd place at AFCON, it was Bomakgopa, players that maybe we don't like that way, but they've been effective. Whereas the guys who are great and they are silky and Gumnandi, they've got skill, haven't really been able to do it. Do we have that conversation at some point? Foster is lazy now. I see what Matala's complaining about. I don't know what Foster's meant to do. and I'm not sticking up for Foster, but I don't know what Foster's is meant to do in the team. So I did a video, and I'm going to do another video. There's a second part to my Future of Bafana series that's coming out Thursday, where I speak about the play style. But to go back, I don't know what Foster's meant to do. Umakhupa comes on, and you know that when Makhupa comes on, Apolis, Moremi, Mfukeng, whoever you guys are, Pesita, Uzwane, will get into a lot more dangerous areas where they need to score. He'll drop back in, he'll drag defenders, he'll win the first ball, he'll be the physical battle, the guy who wins the physical battle for Bafana Bafana, Lapapambi, right? Or you're going to have an out-and-out striker where it's somebody who runs in behind. You play through balls, uyokora loyo muntu. Which I guess in the second half of that game versus Panama, the first one, you saw Lyle making runs, and he got fed a couple of times. But we don't have the type of players who can feed you consistently as a striker. So Lyle, I think he finds himself not knowing what to do. Do you know what it's similar to? It's similar to when Usipho Mbule was playing the 10 at the AFCON. Because you don't build through the middle, you have to fight for scraps. So he found himself almost lost most of the time because ipola la champa, and then you have to go wait for the second ball rather than getting the ball in yaweni or dale polo that way. But anyway, here comes Bafana Bafana. Oh, cutback, Hlongwane couldn't quite get there. Okay. So sometimes, guys, when you speak about players and you speak about whether they're lazy or bad or whatever, sometimes really it's just about the type of instructions they're getting or the type of thing that they're meant to play. I've often said I don't think Lyle Foster is the type of striker that can play here. And it's not always because of him. It's because the players he's playing with when he's playing in a local Bafana. Abo Mfukeng. Mfukeng is the most dangerous player at Pirates, not the striker. Our Pirates, for example, have a legacy of strikers not necessarily being important. So Vilakazi is the top goal scorer. You look at both Chiefs, you look at all of these other teams. Sundowns is maybe the only one where Reyners is standing out. But for most of our football, the guys who are dangerous, it's your 10s, it's your wingers. You know, Saleng has a crazy season, for example, right? So we play that type of football where your striker's not going to get fed, or they're not going to play like a striker. So if Lyle Foster's coming playing like a striker and not playing like somebody who has to lay off for the guys, Umakhupa, udlalama 1-2. That's his thing. 1-2. When Apolis looks at Makhupa, passes him the ball, he knows he's coming back, he's going to go shoot. So I don't know where Lyle Foster fits, if I'm being 100% honest. But anyway, I digress. We are 13 minutes into the game. It is still 0-0. I think Panama has had the best chance up to this point, where Rodriguez, I think, was a little bit selfish there instead of passing it. Mexico played Portugal and have Belgium, Australia, Ghana, and Serbia. Argentina was willing to come through, Libo Messi. But 84 million. If you want to play these guys. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Now I know Hlongwane is a striker. That's true. We need structural Bafana at the World Cup. We should take it into account. SABC 3. I don't know. I think Panama... The first game was interesting with Panama's style of play. Just to answer Petro there. I think it was interesting to watch Panama in the first game because it felt like... It seemed like, so Uko Chakwana and when they interviewed him said that why they wanted to play a team like Bafana is that in their group they've got Ghana. So in their minds, you need to play a top African team in order for you to just prepare properly. And at times it felt like they were teaching themselves how to defend, like they weren't really going forward. What was interesting is that maybe that's what international football is. Pack at the back, counter, take your chances when you hit the counter and go home with the 3 points. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they don't need to play fluid football or nice football. Maybe they don't need to be entertaining. I want the results. I don't care if you're 15% possession. How Cyril cupcake. Mo president, you miss Mbala. I love how he built from the back to stretch the last four and open up those cracks. But this is what I'm going to say again. As good as this Bafana looks, chance-wise, what has happened? Chance-wise, what has happened? Remove Muremi, put Zwane on, and move relay to the left. Guys want relay? Think too. The thing is, Tulele, mina ngibukeli game. Here comes Muremi on the left-hand side. He's going to play the cross in. Can't quite find Utlongwane on the far post. Maybe that's also what Hugo Bruce is testing here. So if you're building through Mudau and Mudiba, maybe instead of having both wings be active, maybe you have one of your wings be somebody who can actually come inside. And at some point you have a front two at points. Like to have Hlongwane, who's got a little bit of a body on him, close to Lau Foster. Maybe that could be a play. Maybe that could be a play. So when you're playing with Adams, when you've got Adams on the pitch, you've got Mfukeng on the pitch, and you've got Muremi, you no longer do the old thing where you take your left winger, Zwane, and make him fade into the 10. Maybe because you've got so many ball players on the pitch, you then go, we're going to false the right, and then make that an extra striker. That could be something. I don't know, that could be something you look at. Mudau's going to have a lot of work, but that could be something, and you could still build through Mudau pushing all the way up, because Mudau tends to eat up that side. Hey, Mudau eats up all the oxygen on the side. So that's interesting. Let's see. This Bafana looks better, but they're not pushing forward as much. That's the question that I'm asking. That I man. Yeah, bamnandi wodwa. Panama. Really needs to build some strength, says Wendy. Imagine you're building strength at 21. Yeah, maybe Bafana must make sure they take some Pirates players, focus on preparation for World Cup, and forget Betway. We need Apolis Lions, Zwane. Well, Alphonse Tukona, he hasn't done much. There's this 3-1 thing that they do when they're building up. It's interesting to watch. Now it's become, so the first game they'd leave the 3 defenders with a midfielder, and the midfielder would be the link man. So these 3 would be trying to play it there. Now in this game, they still do 3, but then they have 2, because the guy with the hair, this long hair here, very, very mobile in the midfield. Unlike what we saw earlier, I think it's Karaskila. Counter, go! Hlongwane is struggling. Yeah, he doesn't play on the wing. That's what I'm saying. It was very interesting to see him there. Really is not a 10. I don't care what anybody says. Hey, Sbuzizo. No, I don't want to say anything, Sbuzizo. Mina angisafuna ukukhuluma ngorile, guys. Mina angisafuna ukukhuluma ngorile. I'm adding him to the list. Rile Mkhulise. Okay, 18 minutes in. Let me see SofaScore. If they're tracking these games, because sometimes they don't track this. Sometimes they don't track this. I just want to see if the stats are up. Okay, so in terms of stats, in terms of stats, Bafana Bafana no shots, Panama 1 shot. Either team don't have anything on target. We haven't seen a corner. Touches in the box, Panama is at 5 versus Bafana's 1, even though Bafana has completed more passes, 139 versus the 74. yeah, it's been an okay mix. Hugo Bruce must come and tell us how much Rangers owes him to Zompatal as a country. Maram Keeper, he's never played with strikers like Rangers. And it goes back to that question again I was asking the other time, that are we asking him to change the formula that got him here? Like, he's had remember, he tried them all. He tried Rangers. He tried Rangers at some point. Before Mayo left, he was on fire. He got a game or two, if I'm not mistaken. He just doesn't like those strikers, and maybe that's just his prerogative, guys. Guys, minang bafuni. At my goat Makgopa. Now I stand with Makgopa. I stand with Makgopa.
Evidence Makgopa re nyaka tšhelete. O ka se tlemole ke tše matsogo re nyaka tšhelete. Le feta o wina ba winne mona. Ka be re sa World Cup ka be se wena le hlo ya gago.
Someone missed another opportunity. He's playing on the right. Again, that's why I said it's interesting. Because I don't know if it's a situation where Bruce, like I said, instead of having a false wing that becomes a 10, you have a false wing that becomes a striker in this game because you've got so many ball players, right? It could be something he's trying. Usually he likes his wings to be more direct, especially the right. He likes it to be more direct. But I guess Moremi's doing a shift that side, and Mudau's going to just hold this whole line. I just don't know if Hlongwane is the player to do this with. I just don't know. But we'll see. Maybe he's trying to find a new combination or something new. It is a friendly after all. Sailor. So you see, you sacrifice Hlongwane as the striker. So you sacrifice him as a wing, and he comes in more. Mudau pushes up, and do you see the positioning of Debza? Debza then comes back in to help Mudau out. Maybe that's the plan, actually. Who knows? Panama's playing a back five. It's a 4 that becomes a 3 when they're building. Hlongwane is trying too much. Vini. Which country would leave his top goal scorer for 2 years in a row? Sure, but to be fair, I could argue that Bafana didn't need a top goal scorer to get to the semi-finals of the AFCON, something they hadn't done since 2000. So all of the top goal scorers that had come before at that point hadn't gotten them to that level. And the last one we actually had, I guess you could argue, was Upeni, when you could say they were qualifying for World Cups and stuff like that. But since then, no top goal scoring player has led Bafana Bafana to where they are right now, which is a valid argument that you have to bring up. Also, Reyners comes in, and I want us to critically think about this. Reyners comes in. Guys, who's feeding Reyners go Sundowns? Just by the way. And the years when Reyners has been hot, who's feeding him? Are those players of South African origin? Yes, here's the chance. Pasapolo, top of the box, release there. But it's Ting Tool. Moremi's in the mood. That's Morena's position. Yeah, Matrapa. Hugo loves Lau Foster because he stuck with him through the mental illness situation. And to be fair again, that's why I'm not the biggest, I wasn't the biggest Hugo Bruce fan, and I've got a lot of questions. But if the results mean that we qualify for the first World Cup since 2010, we've got a bronze medal at the AFCON, we've got all of those things, do what you want to do. Do what you want. You can be as crazy as you want, as long as you bring the results, I guess. Here comes a corner, first corner for Bafana. Yo, Relaxani, guys. Calm down. Ooh, trapapolo. Oh, far side. Nice one. Nice recovery. Nice recovery there. Wendy says something's missing. Oh, have they been playing him there? Oh, okay, Peace. Oh, no, then it's fine. Peace is saying that Hlongwane has been playing on the right wing anyway, that side. Is Jaden our deepest midfielder? Not really, at times. Who is Mbogazi trying to find with those high balls? That's how they play. That's how they play. Did they give really the right size shirt to Paranaleti? Ooh, ball. There we go. Oh, wow. Ooh, Ocon. Wait, who's that? Ooh, Ocon. Ocon and Bogazi. Do they know that Modiba doesn't defend properly? There's been a run that one of the players, I can't see his number, but there's been a run that the Panama player has been making behind Mbogazi on the counter a couple of times. That ball is not being played and Modiba is not tucking in. Okay, 26 minutes in, 0-0. Alright. Chances we're creating, we need a goal scorer. Which chances have you created here though, Lieutenant? Tell you, Oti, Bafana's next World Cup preparation will be Betway 11 if we don't play football teams. The fullbacks in SP10 and Reiners once killed Chiefs. You can do the same with Mahopa. Never thought Moremi would frustrate me. Do you know what it is, man? Yes, we look great and we're playing the ball and we're retaining the ball. But there's a certain discipline that Panama has in this game. South African players are the best at making things up. But if you say you have to come up with a plan, go figure something out, improvise, they're the best. The moment they face people who are just sitting and looking at you or who are a little bit more structured than you, you see how they're cycling on Moremi. They go to a 5 so that Moremi thinks he's beating this guy. Khanti, this guy is just going to track the run. The moment they play players who are a little bit more tactically disciplined, positionally more disciplined, that's where you see the lack in our players at times. You can't be comfortable with a bronze medal. That's papering over the cracks. No, big worded. What I'm saying is, whatever you've done up to this point has not gotten you there. So I can't listen to you when you say, for example, I'm just using you as an example, but I can't listen to you when you say you want Lodge, you want Banbani, when they had their chance, they didn't do it. So you have to give credit to the national team and say, even though Hugo Bruce has done things that we don't agree with, he's come with results that we haven't had. Remember when he started, qualifying for the AFCON was a dream. When he started. World Cup, qualifying straight. I know people are going to say, no, it's expanded, sure, whatever, but we were number 1 in the group. So you look at it and you go, he's coming with the results. That's the point I was making. That you can question and question and question why Reiners, why this, why that, why Mabasa, why this. But you also have to say that this team has done things that the last time a team did this was 2002. Some people are not even born. That's the point I'm making. Some people are not even born the last time Bafana Bafana qualified straight. And I'm talking not qualifying through administration of hosting. Qualified straight. The last time we got to a semi-final was 2013, was it? If I'm not mistaken. But you can't take it away from them, if I can put it like that. So even me, I don't always agree with what Bruce does. I have a lot of questions about Bruce and his people that he picks and his rhetoric and his choices and his favoritism at times. But I also have to sit back and go, hey man, hey, he's doing the things. You know? They studied us, they planned well. This is what the World Cup is going to be, guys. This is what the World Cup is going to be. I will say this, and I've said this, for those who watch the show, I say this a lot. The difference between our level and top level is not skills. It's not how much better you are. It's focus, it's composure, it's efficiency. It's those things. It's being ruthless. If you get your one chance, you score your one chance, you go home. A lot of these teams just profit off of not making a mistake. He who makes the least mistakes at the top level is the better, or the team that's going to be better. Mamelodi Sundowns looked better than Dortmund. I think they made 2 more mistakes than Dortmund did. Gone. Abo Sundowns, Abo Pirates, when they go play CAF Champions League, what happens? 2 mistakes, 1 mistake, gone. It's not the better guys or the more technical or whatever. They're going to look like this a lot of the games. It's not even going to be walkovers. I believe. At the World Cup, it's not going to be games where Bafana Bafana is going to come out versus Denmark and lose 5-0. It's going to be a random 2-1. Williams, Afe, Motubolo, and then it's anyway. Do you think we can play Relay and Zwane as double 10? Well, you have to figure out what you want to do first. What is the build-up going to look like? So that's why I was saying that I understood the logic of Hugo Bruce before. We're not going to play the ball through. We're not going to play the ball around. We're going to play first ball football. I think even Pep spoke about this. Pep Guardiola spoke about this. When he got to England, he realized that the second ball is the most important thing. So now you play the ball long, Evidence wins the ball, Percy Tau and Zwane fight for the scraps. And now you've got 2 magician players who can make something up when you get into those areas. There was a logic to it. Now the logic of a 10 here, then I guess has to be Williams, Bogazi, Adams, Relay. We haven't really seen that here. But anyway, I'm not a soccer fan. More exciting. Yeah, it's more exciting, Tato. That's what I think. I always have the conversation that us as South Africans, we value excitement more than result. We value excitement. We will love a coach that plays beautiful football and doesn't win over a coach that plays ugly football and wins. Ask Chiefs fans what they think of Ernst Middendorp. And I'll leave it there. Moreme out, Opel is in. The rest we're not sure, but still experimenting. Guys, I'm looking for 25,000 likes, so please tap the screen. And then in the second half, you'll be able to join me and speak to me live here while we're doing this. So please tap the screen. Balanced game. Bafana Bafana in possession, but the possession is iffy. The effectiveness of the possession is iffy. Panama look a little bit more dangerous when they do go forward. There's a run. If a goal comes from this game, it's going to come from Mudiba pushing up to the left too far, and Okon following Mudau, forcing TLB to follow him. There's a guy who's been running behind TLB all game. He just hasn't gotten the ball. So if a goal is going to come, it's probably going to come from there. But here comes, Lyle. Do you think Jaden Adams' chances starting in the World Cup realistic? Because I like him today. Dooms, would you blame Bruce for being defensive at a World Cup? Like if you're playing a better team, would you blame Bruce? Ball played in there by a Sailor, but Lyle just unable to get there in time. This is what happens when attitude is important more than talent. We need our old man in the starting lineup. Left side overloaded. Ish. Oh, Letabo. I'm not an analyst. I need to go back. Let me play my sounds. Let me play my sounds. Let me play my sounds. Let's go, Wara.
La peniska lena. Uwa lena ba penika. Da penikisha tsotsi.
How's it, Matrabisa? But which coach is that? Foster is heavy, yo. Oh, Alisam Hupula Middendop. Alisam Hupula. I feel like we're just keeping the ball here, but not really trying to score. Mercy. You're here a lot. What do I always say about Pirates? And it sounds crude when I say it. When I say that Pirates doesn't know how to score predictably. They make things up. And when you're playing versus certain teams in the PSL who can't focus for 65 minutes, making things up works. At this level, you can't make things up like that. What are the repeated actions that you've seen from Bafana right now? We have all the possession, we have the play, we have all that stuff. But have we looked dangerous and predictably and repeatedly dangerous? That is what you need at the top level. If we find the moment, Mfukeng probably puts it away, most probably. And then we'll go home and we'll smile. Look at the goal that Apoli scored in the first game. Look at the goal. That was the only goal we got. I'll leave it there. I asked about Reynas. People are talking about Reynas. Who feeds Reynas? Who gives Reynas the ball most of the time for his goals? Where do those guys come from? Are they from Tembisa? Are they from Kwamashu? Are they from East London? Are they from Limpopo? Where are they from? But let me tool. Poor pastors. Some players are not aggressive enough. This guy must be dropped. Mazinho plays build-up play, pass to the wing, then cross, boom, goal. Yo, Grootman styles. Personally, I think our players don't have chemistry. You can tell that it's two-team system, and the players are trying to make this work. Ahly, maybe people will hear you when you say it, because I've been saying that Bafana Bafana is in a very weird transition. Lau makes me wonder, is the EPL overrated because he's somewhat of a good player there? No, Tato. The EPL is boring, but it's results based. The EPL is boring, but it's results based. It's highly coached. Look at Arsenal. Look, if you watch Arsenal, it's mostly corner goals. They're not. Eze is not exciting. It's boring. We can't stomach that as South Africans. Lal knows that there's a run that I make 2 or 3 times go EPL, and I get my goal every 2 or 3 games, and I go home. I know he hasn't been scoring, but that's what they do. They're not there for entertainment. Wakora watsamaya. Arsenal ba wina di league ka di 1-0 ka di corner. Bathi ngabadliwa laba badlala umsangano. Guys. We need the Caruso ball there. They are from Tanin. Thank you, Grootman Styles. Thank you. The fullbacks feel Reynolds. Stop pushing a narrative. We watch Sundowns every week. Okay. Nell, stop. But so we now tactical football. It's on SABC 3, Pablo. That's why England has 10 World Cups most OT. No. I'm saying, I get the question was Lyle. He doesn't look like I think to our eyes, he doesn't look that way. Right? But if you watch the football that they play that side, that's why to be fair, and I don't know what's going to happen, I don't want to jinx him, knock on wood, that's why Relay might not go. Or he might not play in a top league, because there's a predictability that you need to have, a directness that you need to have, even when you are skillful and technical. But then in the EPL, a player like Lyle Foster can be more controlled, if that makes sense. Like if I'm a coach, I can control Lyle a little bit better than even an Henry, let's say, or Mbappe. So to us, when we're watching it, it's the worst thing or whatever, but then to them, Lyle is playing the role that they want them to play, and the football is boring. Boring or technical? Remember, guys, I keep asking. Lyle is a textbook player, yeah. I'm not sure, Litabo. I'm not sure. That's why I said, if you listen to what I said, you score your one goal every 2 or 3 games. And that's all that's needed. Guys, even who are these magical players we are comparing people to? Lyle is not going to be Haaland or Mohamed Salah. Let's be honest. Even Kakwa, there aren't that many of those players, guys. You're not going to be Harry Kane. You're not going to be Harry Kane. You're not going to be... Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. There's a handful of magical players in any of the leagues. A handful of them. The rest of the guys are middle of the order type of people. Happy APL, it's worse, guys. Like I said, it's a set-piece league now. It's a slower league now. You know, it's a technical league now. So, Asimo Haaland. And they got fed by Kevin De Bruyne. Yes? Come on. Nkosi yami, yo.
Guys, lang disappoint and who.
No, Euphoria, it's not. I think this is what people don't understand when I speak about Pirates. Pirates is the best of the team. I can't speak about Chiefs, for example. Chiefs, you can't even speak to them. They've got a similar problem, but they're not high level. So when I speak about Pirates and them scoring, this is what I mean. Pirates is good enough to mask a lot of the errors that they normally have, right? They're good enough. In our league, domestically, they are good enough to mask these problems. So Moremi will score a banger. Hey, when William Z, Moremi will score a banger. Out of the blue. 1-0, 3 points, you go home. Relay will twist and turn. And like I said, our players are second to none when it comes to making stuff up, right? So in our league, Abo Relay and those guys, and even Abo Ribeiro and the guys we mentioned, look really good because they're good at improvising, but the teams are also at a certain level. Our teams can't focus past 65 minutes. They can't even make tactical changes at times. So what happens is now you come and face these teams who beat that by structure. So they beat that by structure. I say every week when I'm sitting here that low block is not just having 8 players behind the ball or 10 players behind the ball. Low block is coordinated at the highest level. It's coordinated. You shift, you move, there's spaces, you know where to follow. You know, just watch the TS Galaxy versus Pirates game. Look at TS Galaxy's defending, for example. Usually when we meet those type of teams that just have a little bit more discipline than you, right? Number one, it sort of cancels out that magic that we can come up with. But then number two, we tend to make a mistake. So Ronwen Williams tends to become the Makesi player when they go overseas. Now when he tries to play the ball out, he plays it directly to a striker. Striker scores, they go home. Mokwena can't trap a ball in a certain place. He might get away with it in the PSL, but at the highest level. That's why I said, for me, it's not talent that's the differentiator between, or talent or skill that's the differentiator between our level or top level or whatever level. It's just, can you stay composed? Can you stay concentrated? Can you be efficient with whatever you get? Like whatever chances you get, can you score your one goal under the cosh? If they give you 3 chances, are you able to convert the 3 chances? Are you able to just stay disciplined, right? Like for example, Ocon and Bogazi are not a good pairing. Ocon and Bogazi are not a good pairing. Well, it's their first time. You give them that for sure. But you are seeing the little, you know. So when I speak about Chiefs and I say Miguel, you can't trust Miguel to do certain things, and Chiefs does a lot of things where they put player trust instead of a structure, right? That's what you miss out on. And when you go play international football, that's what they kill you with. Again, Mamelodi Sundowns looked far better than Borussia Dortmund. Far better. Mamelodi Sundowns was the story of the tournament, Club World Cup. Didn't make it past the group stages. For example, Chelsea, one of the people who said who we were saying are some of the worst. They're one of the worst international teams at that point, or of the top teams, goes and wins the Club World Cup. For example, I'm just using that. So when I speak about those guys, honestly, that's all I'm saying. Football fans are so strict. Sometimes I think SA fans aren't realistic about who we are. No, universe, that's why Nisho, when I speak about Pirates, I'm not isolating Pirates. Pirates and Sundowns are the best of us. So it's not that I'm kuluming Chiefs. It's that, what can I say about Chiefs? Umfukeng is the best of the players. So I have to speak, I can't speak about players that aren't even going to make it into the squad, for example. So I think people take it as like a tough critique or I'm being harsh. It's really just, no, these are top teams. These are top players. I can't now judge Umfukeng the same way that I would judge Umfundo Vilakazi. You get what I mean? It doesn't make sense. But anyway. Can we get one right before 3 minutes to be added on? Guys, remember halftime, we let 5 people in. We've crossed 25K. Thank you guys so much. So in the second half, you'll be able to just come in. I'll give you a minute or two to just tell me what you're thinking about the game or whatever it is that we're speaking about. Panama trying to get something before halftime. Hlongwane doesn't even have a first time. This playing overseas nonsense is working for us. Hlongwane gives us good physicality, but nothing other than that. Can somebody go away Greeners? We need him because second half. I hate when fans behave like analysts because... How? Who's confused? Letabo. Foster's not the guy we need. I mean, Nyobuki generations. Lady. 48 minutes. We are going to see the last. We're going to see the last part. We're going to see the last part of this now. Let me just make sure that I can get people on and it's not going to give me issues because already it's giving me issues. Oh. Okay guys, I'm just opening up. Sorry, it seems to be taking its time to open up. At times it's a 442. At times it's a 442. I think it's reliant on Sailor pushing up. It's reliant on Sailor pushing up. Yeah, CAF time, guys, CAF time. Mara TikTok, Kuliona sometimes. Let me change this. Maybe it'll come back up. Currently, we're watching a 0-0 game. Guys, can you... Evan, in quality, well? Okay, let me do this. Sorry guys, I'm just having some issues here. Oh, Dollar Man. Come on, Dollar Man now. Yeah, no, Lebza, I'm trying. My TikTok is not TikToking right now. My TikTok is not TikToking right now. I don't know why it's doing this. We're going through those issues that I had last. Hlongwane is not ready to. But then, guys, what is? I'm gonna just talk while I bring people on. What are we expecting from Hlongwane, guys? Why aren't we speaking about Hugo? Yeah, this is the old T-shirt. Okay. There we go. Sorry, guys. Hey, sometimes TikTok fights me. Okay, let's see who's on. Lebza, welcome to the show. Guys, apologies. Welcome to the show. Lebza, what are you seeing from this game? Hey, Lebza, can you hear me? Okay, let's go to Debza. We'll see.
Mic 1 2.
Okay, I've got agent. We'll come back to Lebza. Let me go to Debza. Tebogo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hi, OT. Ke monate. Lebeletse bona Bafana ba tlhakana mara banong ai mothori ba re ka re ba motshebile go pelo wa re now o ka re pala o ka re ne o ba boletse last week o ka re ba re tshwantsa yo tlhapa a re itse re ba re ba biba mo yona re bia re tabe o tlhapa mara o ka re tshwantsa yo tlhapa
mara it tla go botse Debza, is it problem ya player or ke coach o mo kentse into a situation where maybe ha gone go ba effective?
I think now I think it's a player situation. Right now, Bruce is trying to force for these guys the right profile for this bargain play. Whereas we can all see in this system, it's all written Reinas. It's crime for Reinas. So we don't know what is he trying to prove. We know how Madala can be naive and stubborn or OT. Our players must go abroad and play abroad and all that. So he's trying to show us he'll never bench this overseas guy over someone along or Dalamole. So that's what I see. Because honestly, in this system, I think Reinas would have scored so many goals. Honestly. Yeah, that's what I see.
Okay, but I'm gonna come back, Debza. Let me see if I can get Lebza back. Lebza.
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. OT.
What do you think of this first half?
Yeah, we had majority of the possession. I'm slightly happy with the game, but it's the solution is very simple. I've been saying it. It looks too cliche, but it's a very simple problem to fix. Mofokeng is not playing in his natural position, man. Like, you can see that the young man is trying, but he needs to be moved to that left side. Moremi is always rushing. Either he's holding the ball too long or taking shots unnecessarily. Put Mofokeng there where Moremi is. Take Moremi, go sit him outside. He needs to think about his life a bit. And then bring the maestro there as a 10 to go collect the ball and give Mofokeng on that side. And then rest Hlongwane, put a police there. The game is set. Even Lyle Foster will get more opportunities because he needs 3 or 4 to score 1 goal. So he will get that goal. I've stopped complaining about Foster because I've seen that we need to work with what we have. I've accepted. So just take Hlongwane, rest them, put Police that side, take Mufuke, move him to the left wing, remove Moremi and put Temba at 10. We win this game easily. It's looking like it's there for the taking. And we look like we can score. I don't know why we are not scoring, but we look like we can score. There were a couple of opportunities that I saw that looked like they were definite goals. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go to Masi. Masi, welcome. What did you see from this first half?
Hi, OT, and everyone. From this first half, I saw what we've always been talking about. We lack strikers or finishers in South Africa, and it's not just the Bafana Bafana problem. We will pass the ball till even the ballers like, as in, guys, yeah, you've had me. Shoot. And then when people do get into a chance to shoot, it's like they just shooting for the sake of shooting. Like I was saying, I never thought Moremi would frustrate me, but he's just running for the sake of running. He's shooting for the sake of shooting. It's not tennis. It's not a 1 versus 1 person. It's 11 people. You're in a team. Pass the ball. And then this Hlongwane guy has been falling and tripping. I'm not sure what the field, is it wet or what's happening? Even when he does not have the ball, I'm looking at him and he keeps tripping. Why? He reminds me, remember Stephen Pienaar once fell and his boot even came out.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why are you falling? Because no one else is falling. So it's that type of frustration, the type of frustration you see even when Sundowns is playing in CAF. Yeah, man. You know what? When Rulani left Sundowns, I was frustrated, OT, because I could see we got that bronze medal playing a Sundowns, Yaga Rulani. And now we're going to a World Cup. Someone posted a question, it doesn't seem like we are ready for this World Cup. It seems like we're just going there.
Is there a lack of foresight maybe from Bafana that maybe they thought, if we're going with the Sundowns thing, that they thought that Sundowns would be the same team for 6 years, and now because Sundowns is changing, now they have to look at other places? Maybe that?
I think I won't just say maybe it's just the Sundowns thing. I remember Pirates also performed well, so they also had to bring in Pirates players. Yeah, it's just that they're not gelling, these players. Like I'm saying, Moremi is just running for the sake of running. Okay, Urile is making a few passes here and there, but this Hlongwane guy, and then Foster Asazi, okay, he plays in the EPL, we'll give him that. But there's something missing. And every time we're watching the national team, there's always something missing. A finisher, someone who will say, you know what, give me the chances, I'll make the run. Remember, you once said, we need someone who will say, give me 5 chances and I'll score 1 goal. Tina, we don't have that. We need someone like that. And yeah, otherwise we're going to be in trouble, guys. We'll Mexico, Nabo, South Korea. And we're not even going to make it to top 3 so that we can at least make it to the round of 32. That's my fear now watching this match, but we're not making it to the round of 32 if this is what we're going to do.
Okay, I'm gonna come back. I wanna bring in Agent. Agent, welcome to the show. I'm getting flashbacks, man, to 2012 and 2008 and 2014. But anyway, Agent, how are you doing? What do you see?
Mr. Wiki, if I hadn't seen Masti in a long time, I would be attacking because he mentioned Rulani. But we haven't seen him in the platform for a while. I'll keep my peace. But you're not there. Mr. OT, I think I need to go find me for a new TV, man. Right. I think I'm seeing different things. I don't think Hlongwane is as bad as what Amy has been. Or just trying to push an agenda of what is it called? Non-South African, non-PSL players. I don't know. I think Moremi is having stinker compared to is having more of a stinker than Kongwan, you know. I don't know. Compared to the game that we played, the second half of it, I believe the ball is moving better. We are faster, we are quicker. The boys look sharp and everything. We look on. We look like the boys are on. I don't know. I think I've been a fine game. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I need to go find for UTV. And are we expecting to steamroll over a team which is twice as ranked as us? Is that what we're expecting? I don't know. But for me, do you know what I would do, Mr. OT? Go back to the imperfect, perfect Bafana Bafana team. This thing of playing too much nice is not working. That's what I'm saying. It might be frustrating for you guys because for me, I'm seeing on the eye we're playing better and everything, but we're not creating chances they're supposed to, you know. But I'll come back when I'm making my subs. I think just let things go back to where they were. But I don't think we're playing as bad as I'm hearing. I think we're playing good football, the South African good football.
Hey, justice for Mahopa. Hashtag justice for Mahopa. Let me go to Lebza. Lebza, changes in prediction. I know you gave me a changes a little bit there, but just you can repeat them. Changes in prediction.
Mr. OT, I think we are winning this one. I'm expecting that Hugo Bruce is reading the game as I am, and he's going to make the substitutions that I've mentioned. Everything else I'm happy with. At the back, we are 100%. In the pairing of Mokwena and Adams is perfect there. I don't have complaints. In fact, for me, Mudau and Adams are my best players today. It's just the left wing, right wing, and the 10 that I have an issue with that need to be changed. Mofokeng goes to that 7 position. Moremi out. Chongwani out. And then replaced by a police there. And then the position that's currently occupied by Mofokeng, that's where Ronnie comes in. The game flows. We kill this game. 2-3-0. We are done.
Okay. Let me go to Tebza. Tebza changes prediction.
OT. Now I wouldn't make so many changes because, as agent has said, it's not that bad. Because if you make too many changes now, you're gonna kill the momentum. You just have to take out Foster, try Tlongwane as a 9 because that's where he's playing naturally. Then bring on our police. Then let the game flow at 60, 70 minutes, and then you take off Moremi and then you bring in Zwan so that Relay can go wide and create from the flank. And that's it. He must just leave that back for as it is. I just want to see this pairing of Mbokazi and Icon. I'm interested in it. I'm getting excited. I see something that I like there. So I'm really impressed with that pairing there. So I just want to see them throughout the game so that I can be convinced more. Sure.
Okay. Masi changes prediction.
I would take out Moremi and put in Apollos. I just want to say, guys, I'm not saying we're not playing well. My thing is, the frustration is that we are not scoring. Football is won by scoring. You are not going to win it by just having 600 passes. You need to score. So that's my issue here. We are not scoring. Yes, we're playing well, but at the end of the day, we are not scoring. So hopefully maybe Apollos can slow the game a bit. And Apollos, at least, when he shoots, usually at least on target, even if he have one. So I'd like to see him come in. Thanks OT.
Okay, no, thank you so much, Masi. Agent changes prediction.
You're not going to like my changes.
Hey, let's go.
Jaden out, Sipole in.
Agent.
From step one.
Gloria para agent.
Thank you. No, I'm genuinely not bantering. Like, genuinely. Adams out, Sipele in. Moremi out, Apoli is in. Foster out, and we play in Makopa. Then we win this game easy. We win this game easy. Like I said, our imperfect team is the one that creates chances. All these nice things that you guys are trying doesn't work for Bafana. It doesn't work, but it, and also I would want to see Tembazwane in actually for I don't know, maybe Kongwani and put Mufeke on the other side and Apolis on the other side. I think that would be interesting. But yeah, Makopa, Sitole, Zwane, yeah.
Okay.
These are the players that come in and win this game easy 2-0. And trust me, Sitole comes in, you're going to start seeing chances. Thank you.
Okay. No, guys, we're about to head in. Williams is off. Lena has come in. Guys, thank you so much to the guys who came in halftime. We have crossed 25,000 likes, so I am going to be letting people in as we roll and go along. And please remember, when you come in, I'm going to give you a minute or two just to tell me what you're thinking, and then we'll take it from there. I just want to start this timer. I'm not sure who Makopa came in for. It might be Lyle. I think it's Lyle. Okay, so I just want to say something before we start rolling with the people who are coming in. This is my thing about us. I want to ask, hey, South Africans, they look good. They are not effective. I used the example of last week versus the last game we saw versus Panama. That ugly team that people are complaining about Sitole and complaining about Bangban, and he didn't have TLP and Mfukeng was on the bench. In the first half, they created how many clear-cut chances? And I'm talking clear-cut chances. Laba, Bamnandi, rotation of the ball, it's moving, you're passing the ball, you're doing this, 1,000 passes, what. Ball alfigi pambili, guys. Ball alfigi pambili. If you notice, what they're doing is that they play until they get trapped. Then they try play the ball in and over. And I asked the question. You see, people say we are haters, Tina. I asked the question. Who's passing him the ball? Because right now, the balls that are coming from midfield, a majority of those balls have been lost. Majority. As great as it looks, as good as it looks, as passing Nandi, all of that stuff as it looks. And all I'm saying is, I'm not saying Hugo Bruce is wrong. I'm going to go back to the chat that I had in the half. There's a team that played a certain way that we all hated, and they got to the World Cup. They qualified us for the World Cup. There's a team that played a certain way, and we didn't like them, and we were questioning, and they won the bronze. We didn't like it at all. So, even me, I'm looking at Bruce and I'm going, my guy, uchintelani manje at this point. Because for me, I go one of two ways. It's either you play your old football, or you come in and you just bring in all of the youth guys. Don't play with Mo Foster and those guys. Take out Foster, bring in Reyners, do a wholesale change that you can go forward. Do a wholesale change. And then focus on that team. That's why I said I feel like Bafana Bafana is in between. They're in a transition right now, and they're in between two footballs. And one more time, it's not that Wumnandi is wrong. You don't lose Wumnandi, or you don't lose because most of the time South African teams lose because they can't focus, they make mistakes, those mistakes are not taken care of. They play against teams that are a little bit more structured, a little bit more disciplined, guys that are willing to watch you guys have the ball and pass the ball and move it around and do all of those things in places where you're not going to be dangerous. For example, Moremi, they go to a back five in defense to stretch Moremi. something actually we've spoken about. Some of the PSL teams might look to do. You stretch Muremi so that when Muremi beats this guy, the winger, this guy can recover. So if you look at how Panama is defending, they're actually pretty stable. They've taken that 3-1 build-up that they do. So if you look at what they do, they've got a 3-1. This Kibang Karaskila, he's now making it a 3-2. So now they've got an extra man when they're building up and they look a little bit better. Bafana Bafana, I think at times they just need to pace up a little bit more. So play the balls in and see what happens from that point. But hey, let me sit back and allow people to come in. Please feel free to request. Remember, guys, hit your point as quickly as possible so that we can get as many people in. We're gonna roll for the whole of the second half. 49 minutes in, it is 0-0. Tyler, welcome to the show.
Yes,
what are you seeing from this game?
At least Mahopa is in. I think interestingly, when I see the combination Akon and Bogazi, I like Akon. Looks very solid. Looks educated. Right back. At least we won't miss Ulendura too much. What you call the Sundowns.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Yes, Jaden and
guys, please mute. KB Tsebo, can you please just mute? I think there's a little bit of an echo. Tyler, continue there.
Yes, Jaden and James, they look good, but there is a number 8 there with Panama. He makes them play, and they're playing systematically now as compared to the last time. They're keeping the ball, they're pushing the ball. And it's interesting to see because Bafana Bafana hardly have a ball for too long, you know. And when the team keeps a ball, they seem to struggle a bit. I don't know why you keep Hlongwane, because ever since we knew Hlongwane, back in the days, Hlongwane always fall. He always fall. There was a lady who was saying, I don't know whether it's wet, they put nanas is one. He is always like that. He always falls all the time. And I think Hlongwane was a lack of almost. There's a lack of Leduga Hlongwane, honestly. I don't think he's developed well.
Okay.
Even the way he runs, the way he touches the ball, first touch, you're born with nah. You know, this one is not supposed to be a soccer player. You know, we see from the first touch team, a player it developed. Ulenduka, Mbogazi must stop hoofing the ball and bypass the movement. We play from the back, middle, and I think interestingly, Urele looked very good when he has the ball. He still needs to develop more in that role. He also, I think he needs to work on his body, you know, on his body on OT, because he's going to struggle in the World Cup. Honestly, we're gonna play him as a number 10. I think Bafana needs a push, man. There's I don't know, man. There's something missing. There's a spark missing, you know. And every time the other opponents has more ball, they seem to lose. They lose something, man, in them. And if Modiba is not going up, we're not creating chances. Moremi is trying to force things. Where he's supposed to pass, he's not passing. He's keeping the ball. There's a lot that's not going right today. You know, I think the Frosler issue, guys, if you're not calling Reyners, I shame. I get where you're coming from when I OT about Reyners. But Reyners is a striker that when you give him an opportunity, he goes for it. It's those strikers you're always crying about, which were not taking chances to PSL. Reyners gives you that. You give him one chance, it's in, Baba. And that's what you need in international football. And you've seen now in the last game, these guys, you gave them one chance, boom, inside. That's Reyners. You know, that's Reyners for you, and it's going to give you that. And we need that, OT, because seemingly when we go to the World Cup, it's going to be a struggle. Mexico is going to keep the ball like these guys, and it means you will be playing from the back, and you need a striker that's going to be running at them to break and you know. And also OT, I think Safa needs to take us very serious. One last point, OT. Safa needs to take us serious. You've got about Ghana, they are playing about Germany. You've got all these African countries on OT, they are playing big opponents. And who are we playing to? We're still stuck playing Panama. And Panama, this is not their preparation game. Their next preparation game is the big preparation game for them. It's against Brazil. They're playing Brazil after us. Who are we playing against, Tina, after this? We don't know. You know our football is not well structured, guys.
Okay.
Who are we playing? Ghana and all these teams, they're playing beautiful teams. So, OT.
For time, we're gonna play Eswatini, guys. You know Eswatini is coming. Let me go to KP. KP, welcome. What are you seeing from this game?
Sure. OT, Grant.
Kimnati man KP. Hey man, KP, can you hear me?
All right. For me, sake, and just to go with the hype. I don't want to just start scrutinizing as yet. But then to go back to the point that you just mentioned earlier on, how Panama is defending. And I sent this text earlier on to say, look how Panama is defending. They're playing actually a 5-3-2, which the 3-2 in the middle field, it's actually a 5 pairing. So which means if they attack, they become 5-5. So it's a stretch line. You cannot penetrate. They don't make it easier for opponent to actually penetrate and be more harmful. And which is the same point that you raised now. If they're playing that 5, they actually have made their homework. Okay, we're playing with opponent that has more fast wingers. And how do we control such? If one can just, like Moremi, take one on, I have someone to recover as second lineup. So the question is, in these instances, now my question will go back. I don't want to criticize the game as yet. They play nice, the rotation is okay, but obviously without goals, this is nothing. The point goes back to, are we ready as a country to go and compete on the World Cup? Secondly, I've raised this issue today with my guys. Now my issue with the Madala is, I have not seen his strategy as far as competing on international level. So I see someone that is he's on a comfort zone, relying on the two clubs, knowing or Sundowns, they defend this way. I will take the attacking combination of Barrett and insert it there and get the midfielder and the defense of Sundowns and pay it. And that's his team. But I have not actually seen Madala coming with a strategy, working something differently from what we know usually, because this is what we usually see more Betway. The same Apolis Pirates, Mufukeng, the way they attack, this is what we see on a daily basis on a Betway Premiership. So my question will still be, is Madala also ready for the World Cup? Or is this the case or no? Panama is just a friendly international. We don't want to expose our tactics, and obviously we keep something on just under the pillow. We don't know. It's a bit questionable as far as the World Cup is concerned.
Are you?
I don't want to lie.
Would you expect
like this is a time where we need to be deadly on the final box, and we are not doing that. We are creating so many. Well, I wouldn't say so many chances, but that 2 chances that we created, or even 3 chances, we should have done something about it. You cannot just lose a ball in a box or lose a ball on the line and expect miracles to happen.
KB, I think there's a little bit of a delay here, so I'm gonna take you off. Before I let everybody speak, guys, I'm gonna play some sounds, guys. On the panel, you're not gonna hear the sounds, but I'll come back. I'll come back to you guys. I'll come back. Whoa. Yo. Yeah, no, on the panel you're not going to be able to hear. The panels can't hear the sounds. Panama has scored. And I want to go back to what I said. He who makes the least mistakes wins the game. Panama was quiet all game long. They scored and they watched. They watched the touches. They watched the possession. They watched the mnandi. They watched the highlights. They get their one chance. They score. It's 1-0. Now it's tough for Bafana Bafana. This is what I'm talking about. This is what is the difference? Why is Panama 34 in the world versus Bafana being 60? It's not because they're great. Is it because we watch Panama? Is it because they're amazing? No. They're disciplined. They're structured. You get your chance, you go home. Anyway, let me go to Cebo. Cebo, welcome to the show. What are you seeing here as Panama take a 1-0 lead?
Hey, how's it, guys? What am I saying? It's just worry. It's just worry because I know we watched the PSL, but this keeper that was put in there. Angabantu abanethile umuntu wePirates to China lo asibona kwenze njani because this boy come on guys. Has he impressed that much this season that he can come and play for Bafana Bafana in a World Cup preparation game where he wasn't even there for even a Motaung friendlies. Now we are preparing for the World Cup. This guy must come and play for us. So that Polish should save it first time around. But let me not kill the boy too much, just a mistake.
Yeah.
Even at the World Cup, he was not going to start, But what I want to say is that as a glorified member, the best captain of a great ship is Sundowns. Ngifuna balalele baboneke abadlali our fellow fans, the Chiefs ne Pirates. But when they talk about their players, you see, let's take this game as a World Cup game. Let's take this game as a World Cup game. This is our opening game. We went to halftime 0-0. These players that they are telling us that they should play over who and who. Utito Bezo was he going to come to this game and change this game? Let's take this game as a World Cup game. Where they're going to make the necessary changes in this game. Come on. I don't even know what he's doing. I feel like these two games against Panama are going to ascend the sober in football. Don't just thumbtack and tell us no more Remy and tell us no Bani. 45 minutes. What was he going to do? But I feel like just to put something in. I think Umshishu Yabonagala. Namurele, I think he should play not as an out-and-out winger, but as a forward. Angenela Paya, maybe coming from the flank and coming as a forward. But the king, the king is Mushishi. Now I'm glad to see also Maseko. These are the people that we know from the 2024 AFCON. Tried and tested. Umadala, I don't know what is smoking or is sniffing. I don't really have a problem with Ushlo because at the beginning of the tenure, Hugo Oshongwane was guys that used to put in. But then for the last 2 years, I don't know which one he was. Maybe he was injured, maybe I don't even know who he was. Then today we are preparing for a World Cup. Boom. So I don't even think he's match fitness. I know he's fit, he's playing in his team, but in terms of the international team match fitness, I don't think is there. But the third thing, which the two strikers that we keep putting in there, Ufosa and Mahop, both of these strikers, we need a goal. So we're gonna play.
Hey!
Oh yes! Oh yes!
Hey!
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh.
Hey!
Who was that? Who was
Tebza! Tebza! Kimbogazi!
Tebza!
Is it Tebza Bogazi?
Who
Who was it? Bogazi? People are saying Bogazi. Yo!
But it was the left foot, the thing. It was the left foot.
Kimbogazi!
Hey, this boy, let me see, because that thing is...
Yeah,
it was
Kimbogazi.
Bogazi.
Yo!
Because I saw that thing was hit by the left foot. Bengisathi ngiyangena ke laphana kwi-defense. UTLB and this boy Ocon, they've been doing well. There's nothing that I'm gonna cry about and complain about. Let alone utengenele colleague manje ngombokazi asekorile, then I'm gonna rave and rant. But nothing has happened that has been above pay grade yabo. They've been handling themselves well. Even this, so just my final point for time.
Yeah.
To let the guys go. Which guys? When these games that we are going to play, we are looking at World Cup games. We should be looking at this game like a World Cup game. Don't tell us about the guys you like at Pirates or the guys you like at Chiefs or the guys you like at Sundowns. We are here to fight for the nation. That boy, are they going to come into this team and make a positive difference and add put? So don't tell us about your friends. Who's okay? Now we must be put in Bafana. We want proper professionals to play this game. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tebo. Guys, Mbogazi scores. So, like I said, again, they score screamers, guys. What did I say about that? Is what we are hoping to do. That is what we are hoping to do. A defender steps all the way up to take a shot at the edge of the box. Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. But now it's like, what are you doing throughout the game when you don't have that? What did I say about Pirates? Pirates ikora lama goali lawa. Futhi comes from Pirates even. Ukora lama goali lawa. And what happens? You forget about the rest of the game and how they were playing up to this point. But anyway, Bogazi makes it 1-1. Let me go to Ulitabo. Welcome. How are you doing, man? What do you say about this game? Welcome.
Analysts. Analysis and analysis.
Have I been wrong? Oh, have I been wrong?
Most of the part, I think so.
Have I? Okay.
But anyway, I need to give my opinion about the game.
Okay.
There'll be a time for that. No, but OT, it's very interesting to see who comes on and what is scored.
Yeah.
And who makes the mistakes. And on the basis of what and why are some in the national team. Yeah. I just wanted to ask the question. Let's say hypothetically, we were all English here, and we had a player in the Premier League, and this player in the Premier League was a top goal scorer for 2 years in a row. Do you think that player would not be selected in the team?
No, they would be, 100%.
So, how are we justifying a player not being selected? I'm not even saying in the starting 11, just selected. What justifies it? Against, hold on, against a player who trains every day, but has taken 11 shots this season. He trains every single day, but has only taken 11 shots this season goal.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, And you're not surprised when he gets into those positions and fails to finish because he's not used to shooting. Because he's only shot 11 times in matches this season. So it's not about where you play. It's about what are you doing, where you're playing. But anyway, I think Hugo Bruce needs to go back to the tenets of how Bafana Bafana were performing in 2023. Okay. And they were very simple. You had a very, very disciplined back four with a weak link being Mudiba. But now I think we have replacements for that. I think just playing Bogazi at left back. Playing Bogazi at left back play who's this Damani at centre back, because he plays with these guys. That back five, they play together every week. You solve it, and then play two defensive midfielders. That's how we know. You play two defensive midfielders, so you take the load of Themba's one slack, because we know he can't press, he can't do all this. And then you have Makgopa and two big wingers. We normally play with two big wingers so that they can get the diagonal ball if we can't play the direct ball to the striker. Normally we had Morena and maybe Pesitau, or who's the guy at Esperance? Mokwena.
Yeah, Mokwena.
So right now you've given us two short guys who we can't play the diagonal to. You can't play the diagonal to Moremi, and you can't play the diagonal to Hlongwane, you know. But on the other side, I would say I think Apollos deserves to start, because every time he starts, you know, something happens. He gets goals and blah blah. But so I think just go back to what makes us work, you know, because what has made us work. And also, Hugo Bruce has never won a big game. He's yet to win against a big team. There's no big team he's beaten. Hugo Bruce qualified for extended tournament, so we can't compare him to any other coach. That Hugo Bruce's greatest achievement is qualifying us back to back. Because we were at such a low. Remember, in 2019, we were in the quarterfinals. We were in the quarterfinals in 2019. In 2021, we failed to qualify for an extended tournament. We failed to qualify for extended tournament, right? Yeah, okay, but agent says Morocco or Nigeria. Remember, Morocco missed a penalty in that game. Morocco misses a penalty in that game. Yes, the Nigeria game, I will concede. Did we win or did we draw? Didn't we draw against Nigeria?
I wanna go back to a point that you were making about going back, and then also the players. My argument with Bruce has always been that I'm not one. Bongs, can you please mute Bongs? It has an echo. That's why I keep muting you. My argument with Hugo Bruce has been when we've done our best, and that's why I make the Makgopa argument. When we've done our best, Makgopa's been there. So why would you jump on Makgopa and go to Foster, or jump Makgopa and go to Reyners, when you've got already somebody that has given you the results already? And we saw when Foster was unavailable for the AFCON, people stepped in and they did well. Why not allow those people to continue? That has been my gripe with him, because I don't believe Foster fits with this team. I don't think he's ever fitted with this team. And I also don't think Reyners fits with this team. We've seen Reyners play for this team. We saw Mayo when Mayo was the top goal scorer at some point. We've seen how Bruce doesn't like using smaller strikers anyway. So what do you think of that? That maybe Leon Bruce, he's being stubborn, and he's been stubborn before, but Stubborn Bahaye now is even taking away the thing that was winning for him, as you were saying.
Look, I wouldn't say he's being stubborn. I say some things have led to change. Injuries, the injuries of Thembazwane, Morena, all these things have forced him to change. And other players, people have mentioned that other players have done well. And he was supposed to give other players opportunities, because if you remember, these players who are in the national team now, they were not Hugo Bruce's plan when he came to South Africa. He told us that he doesn't want old players. But unfortunately, those players didn't work out. And Bo Mudiba, Bo Zwane, Modao, they played themselves into this team, if you remember correctly. They were not selected in the beginning. Those guys made a name for themselves and played themselves into this position. But anyway, Oti, I'm just worried about the way before I leave, I'm just worried about the way Hugo Bruce is choosing to integrate his teams. And I think we should question his squad selection, because if you look at the AFCON team, where are Chandra Campbell, where are all those players? If you selected them then, you should be integrating them now, you know? Because why did you select them if you're not? And I want to make the example of Apollos. Apollos went to AFCON, didn't play. If you remember, he didn't play. He played the last game. I think he played 20 minutes in the third place playoff, the bridesmaids trophy. You all know that's it's just for CAF to make money. It's just not for us. You know, maybe even just in it's like winning MTN 8. But anyway, and if you look at how well Apollos is playing, he was integrated properly. He was given time to train with the team, and now you just throw in. What is Hlongwane gonna do? Why not take in Love? He's a top assistant, one of the top assists in the league. Why are you not taking him? You know, so that's his squad selections. I'm not going to question his starting 11 because we know who his starting 11 should be. Even going to the World Cup, you know, Mokwena will be selected. Even I'd even argue to say probably Grant should be selected. He's never done badly. When we won, he was there. You know, and he's playing semi-finals now, CAF. Select the guys who've done. Even CBC, I'd call CBC, he was there. Why not? The guys who've done well, bring them back.
Okay, for time about a champion. Hey! Sakhuluma Bruce, but it's okay. Let me go to Bongs. Bongs, 74 minutes in, 1-1. How do you feel about this game?
Oti, you brought some interesting points to this topic. You talked about the fact that there are players in a moment of brilliance and individual play. This proves to me what I said Kabo Moremi, I was right. Moremi ko Pirates over this individual football, no, abato ba selfish, abato we score. And then Pirates fans would say, nah, he's good. But then he does it here ko Bafana Bafana in this game. And then now gonna ba complain over no, Moremi was selfish, he doesn't pass the ball, yada 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 yada. Long story. The same thing I keep wheeling at the beginning of the season. Moremi is a selfish player. Why is he at Bafana Bafana in the first place? And number two, I did talk about how Pirates players do moment of brilliances. Look at our goal right now. It's from a former Orlando Pirates player. He did it against Siwele. He does it again. He scores like that. He almost broke the Puluko of corner. I answered the same thing. This is the things and people think sometimes when I say these things I don't bore, but I keep on saying the same thing, and the same thing happens in the game every time I talk about these things. Look, right now we can say our police. We need our police. I always tell you our police is the one who can change the game. He did it for us who can qualify the World Cup. He's in the game again. But in the game. I promise you, at some point, and was I wrong or was I right? Because I'm telling you, those players that take a move, in this play, unlike Sundowns players, who have been playing. Look.
Hi, Kyo 2-1, Bongs.
Yeah, 2-1.
Bongs, can I ask you though? What do you think very quickly here? What do you think is the problem? Bruce, why is he making these changes now? Why experiment? Do you think that it's injury pressure? Do you think that it's, what do you think it is?
No, it could be some injuries because some of the players, like the last speaker, Abuila Areno, he had to bring these players in because the players planning. They all got injured. Bo Matrapa were getting injured. Bo Tembazwane just came back not so long ago, and they're still trying to adjust back into the squad. Some of these players were not even called in the last game that AFCON. They were not there. And some of these players like Boshongwan hasn't been in this squad, in this team for so long. Things have changed. Go Bafana Bafana. This is why Rick ran this type of results at this point.
Hi, Bongs. Very quickly, prediction.
Hi, it's gonna stay 2-1.
Okay. No. Let me bring in Andile 77 minutes in. Panama 2-1.
Yeah, for me, I think the main thing what I wanted to say was, I think we overanalyze sometimes, like for no reason. It's as simple as we're just not good in the final third. That's the whole thing. Our whole everything else, we are better than Panama. I'll tell you now, hands down. We have better central midfielders. Mokwena, Noche and Adams are a league above their central midfielders by a long shot. The problem is when we get to the final third, we don't have intelligent players. That's the problem that we have. Because what's happening is that we're getting into positions, we're not taking chances, and we keep the other team in the game. it happens in the league as well. If you don't take your chances, you keep the other team in the game, and then they get one chance, and then they score. That's just how football works. So for me, I don't see an issue with the system that we're playing. This whole thing of like reminiscing on AFCON 2023, we need to move on from AFCON 2023, guys. For South African style of football is passing the ball around. We're not we saw this in the other 20s. Yes, they won the AFCON, but when they went to go and play international, they struggled because the AFCON they won it through playing counter attack. But when it came to playing in the World Cup, under 20 World Cup, they struggled. For me, I think this is our style of football. The problem is we've got about 7 quality players, and the rest are just average players. Like Umoremi gets into positions, doesn't know what to do with the ball. It's not intelligent. But we've got intelligent central midfielders, we've got intelligent ball-playing centre-backs. But when you go to the wings, your wing players are not smart. They're quick, but they're not smart. They got so many opportunities in the first half. We should have been 3-0 up in the first half. If we had better quality attacking players, we would have been 3-0 up by a long shot. And that would have killed off Panama because it would have opened up the game. They would have played with emotion, and then they would have conceded more goals. But now, because Panama keeps staying in the game because we know no, they get one chance, they score. Now we're chasing the game. Emotions are involved in soccer. So all I'm saying is that we have quality, guys. The problem is we only have 7 quality players for the system that we're playing. We lack quality up front. That front three, especially in the wing play, we don't have the quality. We need to focus on trying to figure out how we're going to solve that problem. I don't think we need to overanalyze.
No, I guess the question is, why change now? I think people are hearkening back to 2023 or what Bafana has done to this point because they're going, look, Bruce is gone after this. July, he's okay. I know he's now speaking of maybe staying, but the plan is that after July, he's gone. So why rock the boat so much now? You get what I mean? Instead of just stick to what has been working for Bafana Bafana up to this point, die on your sword. If you live and die by your quote unquote ugly football, look, it got us here. But now trying to patch all of the guys in, it feels again like, you know, those Bafana Bafana teams where we were trying to make Tiko and and Zbanban all work because we have this idea of what it should do instead of just sticking to the pragmatism, I guess, that Hugo Bruce has shown up to this point.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you if we weren't creating chances. The problem is we're creating chances, we're getting into positions, we're not finalizing. The thing is, the football that we played at AFCON, the reason why it worked, there's a number of reasons. Like someone mentioned the fact that Morocco missed a penalty, guys. We also need to consider that in life, chance opportunities happen and luck goes your way. And you end up in third position. It's not necessarily the fact that there was a style of football that got us there. It was a lot of factors. And also, in terms of that, I'm saying that also that style of play is not sustainable. And the under-20 team was an example of that. It's not a sustainable brand of football to develop players under. Yes, it worked then because it's tournament football and you come up with solutions as you go. And luck goes either your way or against you at certain points. But what I'm saying is that we are onto something here. We just lack quality in certain spaces. And that's what we need to be focusing on.
But to be fair, to be fair, our football is not won for a very long time.
Because of that, I'm pointing out why it hasn't won. It's because we don't have the. Remember, if we look at the counter-attacking football we were playing in AFCON, we're playing on transition. Yeah. So a lot of times strikers are getting the ball in one-on-one situations with the goalkeeper, and the defenders are chasing the ball. Yeah. So it's easier to finish in those scenarios. Now we're getting into the box, and we don't have guys who are smart enough to play with 2-3 defenders around them and still find the goal. That's what we're struggling with. We don't have the quality in the front third.
But that's what I'm saying. Isn't that something we've struggled with ever since? You know, I made mention that the last time we had this striker that you speak about was probably Benny. But now we've gone through cycles and cycles of the navigator, Beyonce, playing nice football passing. It wasn't doing this. Now he comes and plays this transition, and the transition wins an AFCON for the under-20s. It wins the third place for these guys. They get to qualify for the World Cup for the first time ever since. Are we not also then doing the thing where we are we're making our football over important, and we say we're ignoring what got us here. So it's like Chiefs coming second because they were crossing the ball, and then we go, no, but guys, our football is playing the ball on the floor, and then you're lost for years after trying to build this thing.
Okay, just to to your point, right? We remember that those first 2 games and this recent AFCON, they played Yaya and Mokwena in the middle, and people were saying no, that combination is not working because that was 2023 AFCON tactics we were doing there. It didn't work. That's what I'm saying. It's not sustainable because it's defensive-minded football where you play on transition and you wait for pockets of space in behind and you use your pacey wingers. What I'm saying is that it's not sustainable. I'm saying we're onto something here. We just lack quality, and we need to figure out how do we fix the problem of having quality strikers. And you watch the DDC. The DDC is not doing a good job at the moment. We're still focusing on the other parts of play, but when it comes to the third half, we're just not producing the right type of talent in the third half of play, where guys are decisive, they compose, and they know what to do with, in situations on the ball. In the final third. That's our only problem. That's usually our only problem.
I'm going to jump in for time's sake, but I think this is a conversation we must have. Let me go to Dr. Sihle. Dr. Sihle, welcome. How are you doing? What are you seeing from this game?
Shaw's Coke.
Hey, Tara.
Right. You know what? When you are older, you are not getting any younger.
Yeah.
This Matala, we should all know, he's not getting any younger. And soon after the game, he goes to sleep. This is football. This is modern football. Football evolves daily, Buffett. You cannot take a 8-year-old uzokwenza those basics modern football World Cup. What are we expecting, honestly? This Matala is just an average good coach. We cannot take away from that. But we don't need an average good coach. We need an excellent coach, to be honest. So now what is happening? He doesn't have his own identity football. You know, uma uyinyanga, you've got your ikwama zakho wazi ukuthi mangikhiphe la lezi ikwama ngiyawina la. If you are maybe umsubati, an athlete, you know your identity strengths. If I can ask anyone, explain ukuthi a type of football uBruce ayidlalayo consistently and the changes awenza mesefuna ukuwina wenzani. He's just playing finder mkhulu, finder. We lack identity football. That will be determined by the coach. The problem since the beginning of the game, look at the game, we lack a ball maker, you know, umuntu who also dictator terms. Yabona umuntu ozo control game ihlale kuye. Yabona. Like I'm feeling very sorry for us guys that Amazon is aging and they are not prepared to groom youngsters. We need low game was from the beginning. It has lacked the midfielder who will dictate the tempo of the game, the shape, the movement of all the game. He can learn a lot from other teams. Like, you know, let me make an example. When a team like Sundowns play, when Sundowns get into a play, rulani up until now, Sundowns will make the opposition change their plan. They come and dictate the game. They force you to play the way they want you to play. Now, Hugo Bros doesn't have those qualities. A team that wins the game is the team that forces the opponent to play the way they want. And I've seen this several times with Sundowns. Sundowns, they will force you to play the way they want. When you are adapting to that, they change. When you are adapting to that, they change. They keep on changing, so you are chasing shadows, and they win the game at the end of the day. These Hugo Bros doesn't. Even the changes are The changes are just, let us just change and give this one a game turn. If I was Hugo Bruce second half, I was going to put Utemba Zwane, never remove Rilebokhile. Put Temba Zwane so that he controls the game and don't make changes, because he is supposed to learn. Okay, I was once stuck. Now this is what I did. It was going to be a learning curve for him himself. He doesn't want to put himself in a position to learn. Okay, when I was stuck like this is what I did. He just changed players infinitely, lots of changes. It's not, and all these strikers, my brother, they will look, all the strikers he introduces there, they will look useless. You know why? There is no player. We are gradually losing Temba Zwane who can dish. Even Dr. Kumalo, we lost players like that who can identify the position of strikers and dish them accordingly. That is what we lack. You can put Reyners there. He's not going to be effective because that brilliant number 10 who will dish those brilliant passes is not there. Lastly, some of his selections are so questionable. It looks like he's controlled by Mkhalele to say, choose our besties, we pirate more from pirate. I mean, honestly, guys, what are you doing with Sbisi? Usbisi, out of all defenders that you can have in South Africa, Usbisi, what is he doing there? What is he doing there? I mean, Umahopa, you leave Reyners aside, you have Umahopa. What are you doing with Umahopa? He is not even playing at Pirates.
But for time, I want to jump in.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, before I let CJ in, guys, you see me, I've heard this story before. Oh, there's no people here. Panama's not good. They haven't played well. Hey, look at how well we're playing and passing the ball. Look at what happened. Look at where we're moving. Hey, we must bring it. Guys, international football. 2 mistakes, 2 things, whippy, you go home. We're gonna play nicely, we're gonna touch the ball, we're gonna kiss it. We played how many passes here? How many?
It all boils down to tactics. It boils down to tactics.
But for
do you have daily tactics to win a particular game?
But
if you lack tactics, you're not going to win anything.
Mara, Dr. Zidle, let me bring you to CJ. CJ, showstopper, 2-1. The story stays the same.
Ukoki Panama. Ukoki Panama. No putsi luyana. No putsi luyana. Ukoki Panama. My fingers on our chin like a Panama. Asakuzeka. My fingers on the last chain. Hey, pass up, Panama. Yeah, Mr. OT. Yeah, you know what? It's nice to watch a game where you are not you're not favoring anyone. You're just watching football. You don't want anyone to win. Just watching. Mr. OT, first things first. If you are not going to address the issue Motaung, we are going to come. It's going to cost us the World Cup.
Yeah.
Mark my words. 2, if you are not going to address Umbokazi's aggressiveness in defense, we are going to be punished in that World Cup, in particular when there is VAR.
Yeah.
3, beautiful strike by Mbokazi. Even the one that the goalkeeper saved, that could have been a goal. Beautiful cracker from Mbokazi. Those launching tackles that I just feel like he needs to work on the timing of that. 2, I agree with a lot of people that are saying that the front 3, I don't think they studied Panama enough to actually check how paceful they are, including their goalkeeper, in terms of how quick he comes out. And I think that was the deciding factor that led to goal scoring opportunities not being buried, is the quickness of that back 5, including the goalkeeper. Now, going into the midfield, I think I don't know if you're not going to play this young boy as a 10. I don't know where you're going to play him. 3. Aubrey Madiba is another person that needs to be given a latching. He's being turned left, right, and center, turned in, turned out. He's just a trailer in a quantum. Goes left, it just follows. I think he needs to be addressed as well. Other than this, Mr. OT, it was a good game. Panama came through. Very disciplined team. I like this guy that looks like Mohamed Salah. I like him. He's one of my favorite players and the goalkeeper at Panama. Other than that, yeah. It's good to watch Bafana Bafana play. I don't know what. I think we need to get in wake Desmond Tutu up to come to do it to TRC for Roach. I don't know why Roach is not in this. I think we need to go to Desmond Tutu's grave, dig him up. Akale TRC. We need to. Guys, this is not funny anymore. Roach needs to come back to Bafana Bafana. I equally in the single player. I'm sorry, guys. I equally. I don't know what this is. What's this players wearing number 8?
Yeah.
He was never come to Bafana Bafana again. That one needs to go play Kamfela. That's where he belongs.
What time, what a champion. Oh, hey, let me go to Agent. Agent, 2-1 loss. Now I feel like it's the same story. I feel like it's the same story. But hey,
Mr. C, are you happy with it? Are you happy? Are you done?
You're asking questions, even.
Thank you. We must speak. People have been speaking here for about 10 minutes. We, the original Avengers.
I wanna let you go, but I'm like,
No, man, I'm kidding, man. No, man, I think we are two things on this point. The first point is, do you know what big teams do? Big teams do say, oh, so you think you're good with the ball? Okay, take the ball. We'll score goals. That's what big teams do. You know, to show that we're a small team, we abandon what makes us great and we hold on to the ball. Typical, same thing that Sundowns did against Dortmund. You think you're good with the ball? Take the ball. We'll take the goals. You know, that's how big teams do things.
Hey, Velile, Muta. What's happening?
Who's
we can hear. We can hear that you are batting someone.
Who's peeing? Someone is doing.
You can hear that you are batting someone there. But anyways, so here's the thing, that we need to do what works for us. And what works for us is a team that does well with a counter, considering the players that we have. This thing of being fancy didn't get us to this point. What got us to this point is basic things. That's why I say. And Williams is like a team kid. He's having an identity crisis. And this is the most dangerous place to be having an identity crisis. This thing is simple, Mr. OT. Williams, Mvala, Mbogazi, Mudiba, Sitole, Mokwena, Zwani, Makopa, a police, Mokofukeng. You are done. You are done. This thing that you are trying to be fancy with, this thing, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for us. You know, it may look nice on the eye, but it doesn't.
I'm over it, Agent. I'm over it. This is what we said.
Yes,
look
someone
beautiful.
Said Tapelo. Yes, Tapelo. Yes,
yeah, Tapelo. Look beautiful. Go home. It's fine. Rebona every day to it.
So for me, I think, but overall, it's good that we're disappointed with the 2-1 loss against a team which is 2 times ranked as us. I keep going back to this point. It is good. disappointed. We're going to play against a team which is number 23, number 16, and number 20 something also. So, and sometimes this is the point that's my problem is we overrate ourselves as a country. Do we think that we are among the best? Just like Sundowns. Does Sundowns think that is a top side in the world? It can't be, you know. So that's why we must win hearts. If we win hearts, we must be satisfied.
Hearts is enough. Hearts is enough.
Anything beyond that is a bonus, you know. So we should understand where we are, you know, and be content with where we are, you know. But good display by the boys. A few things to touch on. You know, I was with Mr. Bain. I don't know if he's here before the game, and he said, I was asking, do you start clean so that the case is like, what if you start clean and doesn't go well? That tears is ticket.
Chain is smiling. Chain is smiling.
He's smiling. His ancestors are working overtime. But anyways.
Even though Ronan would have conceded never mind. It's told. No, go on, Ejan.
You know, Williams is he showed winter blanket. You know, we saw it at Sundowns. That better the devil you know, better the market so you know. Low shot outside the box is a goal. You know, the market so you miss him when he's not there, but when he's there, you know, the market so man. But for time, Mr. Oti, okay. I'm happy with the 2 games, and I think going forward, we should just keep it simple, Mr. Oti. Thank you.
I don't know how many times I've seen Rodan concede. Anyway, Pastor John.
Yeah, someone in your Thoma Viale. My time has come.
Why? What do you see? What is the sermon about here?
The sermon is about, and I said this when we lost to Cameroon, expectation meets reality.
Yeah.
When those two meet, it's a very nice derby because at least we can see with our own eyes what we are expecting and what the reality is, and one will outweigh the other. But that's the main thing. But the underlying things that I want to mention, 2 things. One, to me, the way we put pressure on Bruce, if he was a local coach, he would have been long gone.
Yeah.
He would have been long gone. We would be looking for we will find another Philippe Troussier, Arisa USA, embarrass us with the Pierre Issa. Luckily, we don't have that here. And then back to square one, Relata Jomo, or AKA Rulani. And then Wangusha. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And unfortunately, this guy took us this far. Let us not have the ghost of previous World Cups where we are chop and changing coaches, and then it seems like no snap plan B. They were just freestyling. You see. So let's fall on that sword. That's number 1. Number 2, I think as fans, as I'm listening here, I saw when we equalized. Before we equalized, you could hear the emotion of one panelist, sort of like going on that tip. I should have seen it. And then Bogazi scores, and then it's like Asivugile, and I'm like, oh, hey, but true. Well, we're not going back to Tavela that you are saying now, like Asivugile. And then we come back to square one. Do you know what I believe we should do? We should do like we did 2006. We did it in 1992, where Carling Black Label should come through, change the format of the Carling Black Label Cup, have Bafana Bafana selected by Bruce, and then have a South Africa 11 selected by us. Read the khoza once, because like I can see or no. Next thing that's gonna start bringing up players where I'm even like, how can it? This guy really? How? Hey, like this, I'm literally being like, that's how I've been commenting. And honestly, it makes me realize that we didn't really watch AFCON 2023. And I'll still bring back to that point, because if you remember, the first game was against Mali. We lost 2-0. And he put the players who were like, Moromunat. We tried to play the Mnandi football. We got a penalty. What did Percy do? He missed.
And he told us, remember he told us, he gave us an I told you so.
Yeah, he missed. And then what does Mali do? As an international team, they score. And they score
and then school is out. Then Rakra Takaya Rena. But we didn't play the same football we played the first game. We played. The thing is with Bruce, what I've seen, and it's one thing I'm gonna pick up before I you might say for time, is that Bruce is typically a coach that it doesn't particularly dominate with the ball, because when we play dominating the ball, it's like we pass around, and then when we get to the final third, it feels like a PSL, but we won't say much because top goal scorer Kora 5 goals. But sorry. But then when we face opponents where it seems like we give it respect, and then we are much more pragmatic, and we're always on the counter or we do transition, we end up scoring, we're winning, and then we're like, how did we win? But then that's how we won. But then yet you would want to demand to play the same stuff we played against Mali. But then when we lose like that, then you're pointing at the coach, you're pointing at the players, they're getting a bunch of losers. But then when we find another way of playing and then we're winning, we don't necessarily give it much attention until now, because we are comfortable in the winning. With so much winning like Trump, where we're like, okay, sharp. Now that we're winning, let's try this. And it doesn't do that. Like, that's not how it works. So what I believe, and one thing I wanted to mention, particularly because the Cameroon game showed me something. And the one thing is that the moment Bruce respects the opponent, watch us play back five. And that back five is probably the only formation where Mudiba will be comfortable. That's what I believe. Because he will have cover. Most probably in Bogazi. So, but now, when you have a back five like that, it's gonna have us playing on transition and being more pragmatic, which is not pleasing to the eyes of South Africans. But unfortunately, if you want to see us going, through to the next round, let's be happy. That's the football that we're gonna get. Otherwise, you have to start again and back to the drawing board. Get to the coach that you want. That's why I'm saying, let's do this Kalim Black Label Cup here. Hugo Bruce 11, South Africa 11. Rita khotsofatse once, so that we can say, hey Bruce, we want a team here in Iran. Yalla donor. I mean, we did that before. Mdokis was not in the initial Bafana team. He was in the PSL 11, did what he did, and landed in the team. So, for time. And I thank you. For time.
Man, it's the same thing we see all the time. Let me go to Veli Letagabam. Hey, asliwe bafu.
Hayi, besides ukudliwa namhlanje ama-panelist wakho bewasounda njengale kudala kubula kudala kusa-announce imingcwabo ereyidweni ngoma-12 ebusuku uma uthi uvule ireyidi uzabona ngokulawala ukolila kusabekwa nenini phela amalanga lawo iy'nsuku bezinzima namhlanje ipaneli yakho hayi beyisounda kanjalo ye-straight. Hayi.
Mina ngazi, I'm a 2000. What is radio? It's the same lesson every year.
Ukuqala nje sibonge iBafana Bafana. Bebabasha abafana ngejezi elishashasha lengikhumbuza enye team. Finally baphumile benza impanda zikaHlengiwe Emhlaba. So nje sibonge lelo qala ukuthi bayilungisele andaba edala sikhala ngayo Nkosi yami. Siyabonga bebabasha abafana bahle hle. Okwesithuba Mr. OT. If Orlando Pirates win ama-cup ayi-5 in the last 3 seasons, and they've been challenging Mamelodi Sundowns iphuma number 2 eligini ngama-player we-individual brilliance ayilungile ayiqhubeke. Siyabonga into enhle, akusiyo into embi. Abantu banenkinga naloko bazoba strong, into enhle leyo. Siyabonga futhi kuleyo ndawo. Asikwazi ukubhisibangela umsindo kancane abantu bangabe bekhulunywe ngeBafana kwenziwe example ukufaka kuyomele iplayer ku-middle field elisolid. Uyabona isandla kancane isandla anisiyekeni iBafana le, anisiyekeni. Ama-player Bafana awazalwa ngadlala i-Sundowns, kumele sesikhumbuze from the start ukuthi uRonan Williams uye ku-Sundowns akuBafana.
oPrimodiba uye kuSundowns akuBafana Bafana. Utebo mokwena uye kuSundowns akuBafana Bafana. uReynes uye kuSundowns akuBafana Bafana.
Obas
Uthathula Morena uObas uye kuSundowns akuBafana Bafana. So
Vala.
abasiyeke umsini. Please, abe kancane nywe Sundowns nywe Sundowns yonke into nje. IBafana Bafana le.
Maseko.
And uMaseko futhi uye kuSundowns akuBafana Bafana. Angazi lokukhuluma kuze kube kuya.
Adams.
Yazi Nkosi yami ngoba bana bonke. Kodwa kancane nywe kube kuyinywa Downs, nywe kube kuyinywa Downs. Kancane sikhathele man. Siyabonga kuyizo bros nge-friendly against Panama, who are like 30 places ahead of us, and most of them, those guys are playing in Europe and America, most of them. So for this match, a competitive match, for a friendly preparations for the World Cup, for the preparation, no sadeng uye kuSundowns akuBafana Bafana. Angazi ngamfaka naye na.
No, police. It's like go Velil. It's like hey Bruce scoutile man, hey scoutile Bruce.
Undamane uye kuSundowns akuBafana Bafana naye. Hey, Nkosi yami. Asavelele. Kancane nje. Siyabonga, those are the two competitive matches on Mr. OT against Bafana Bafana yethu, and it's a good preparation. No kekana ngamfaka novala futhi. Novala ahlele benchini njalo.
Mara funa ukubuza Velile, just on a serious note, when you mention the Sundowns, what I'm hearing from abantu ngale ndaba yokuthi kumele sidlale this way that way, are we going back to that thing yokuthi, you know, Rulani would have won a Champions League if he got 2 more years, even though Sundowns ingekho final ever since. You can also udlala a different type of football. Ufika ku final, we don't rate it. Is it one of those things ukuthi now sifuna ukuchinja ibhola now? Sisemnyango for a World Cup, sifuna ukuyichinja, and maybe this is not the right time.
Asingajahisi silutshintshile wena Mr. OT, because manje abanisho ukuthi kusase ama-friend la, we are still preparing for a World Cup, and then we will select his a trusted 26-man squad that will go and represent us in America, even though it's going to be a mountain to climb, taking into consideration that our first opening game is against the host nation. So already you are starting at the back foot. So and in that way, it will need a serious, like a considerate approach when it approaches that game. Because in a very we are starting at the negative. Everything will be against us on that particular day, and then people mustn't even expect to win on that day. They must just get used to it. On that first game, chances of not winning, because everything will be against us on the day, even the ball boys. But now, moving forward, this thing is the same thing. You remember when we went to the AFCON, there's number 3. Nobody believed we would go to this, including me. I'm the first one. Carl, before I would put so, party in a tournament. A tournament itself is a different preparation as compared to like any other game. A tournament, you prepare for a tournament, you prepare for 6 games, you come up with a plan, and then you execute it. If you can be able to execute it to the fullest, then it's a win for you. But if I see tournament, just preparation is no more under 20, our fan preparation of under 20, the tournament I find it's quite a league very much. A league squad. We 3 days, 4 days, but prepare for a tournament, and then they go there and play. If they win, they win. That's it. But the system is been built by a coach, depending on and the players that they've given them opportunity. And if I'm injuries to most of the important players. But these 2 games were the best preparation, because if you look at it, the Panama side is a good side. very physical, pacey. Their defense is pacey, and the way you could see, they were so serious even today. It's a friendly, but you look at those guys; they're even prepared even to take professional fouls that could even give them red cards on a proper match. But they're willing to even to do that so that they can break Bafana Bafana's attack, especially with the first half. Those fouls are holding our players. But manje, let's wait for Hugo uzo announce squad. Abo bonke bazoba strong. Umuremi uzohamba bathanda bengathandi ngoba ayikho into ayenzile wrong namhlanje. Bathanda bengathandi anabhakezo ngcengwa lana iBafana Bafana yethu nje. Wonke umuntu uyangena kukhutha ufunayo. Siyamupha nje.
Bara for time. Phela mina ngigijimisa abo Junior. Abo Junior ba drop manje bana ngiyadlala. Let me go. So babala bonke nalo washo onalele ngqonqa uye ku Sundowns abuya kuBafana Bafana. So please. Let me go.
Yazi Mr. OT uvelile mekeshaya i5 enzima kanje angidingeki in defense. Ngingavele ngene ku midfield. I'm happy. Okay Mr. OT.
Ay, retiring.
Right, thina baya post. Alright, thina baya post. Mele sig release Mr. OT. You know Mr. OT. Mele sibe economical now.
Okay.
I think it's time to count points. Realistically so. And plan for best possible scenario. Because all we need is 4 points. If not 3.
Yeah, we're saying top best third place finisher, ne?
Yeah, ngicabanga le best what finisher 4 points ukuze qualify. So singa rope up. Yona le Mexico le I'm happy ngo review of vandag. I'm super happy we got such a ref who was scared of Panama, where he should have given them straight cards. He would talk to them and then akwacha jige for no reason. So into English we think which to referee or favor the other side or some of the other side, because that's what we're gonna get first game lapha World Cup. That's what we're gonna get. That's what we have to prepare for. Yeah, I could reference usincenga lapha. Ngisho ne VAR ayeke review into it. We have to understand which lapha same team. So let's calculate our points. Let's set lineups for different games and say this lineup for this game, this lineup for that game. Yeah, it was fair, but I'm saying Panama players were kicking balls away for no reason and didn't give them cards. And I'm happy that we didn't give them cards. Frustrating our players so that we can see how they react. Libona, they can learn how to react during certain instances. So I'm saying, I still say, OT, push Umbogazi into that midfield.
Okay.
There's no steal in that midfield. And alternatively, you can push both Utebs and Adams just ahead of Umbogazi. Sidlale emale 5-3 what against Cameroon. That's the formation with Umbogazi being part of the 3 AC mover joiner into the midfield. Yeah, I understand. Since the Luchini, Sivale, Mr. OT. Sivale. Mina angisela ndaba ngifuna ukuvala. No, sizokora somehow mudimude. Mara emuva sivale ngo-Okon, sivale ngoNdamane, Mbogazi khona lapha phambi kwabo, and then we've got uAdams noMokwena just ahead of Mbogazi. And then la esayidini eli-1 ngifuna uThapelo Maseko, kwelinye ngifuna uMuremi. Ngiphunyuka ngabo Mr. OT. Ngiphunyuka ngabo mina uthi sengibhekile ngicabange kahle manje ukuthi azini ngiyayifuna le World Cup. Ngiyayifuna le World Cup le away uBros uzoqabanga kahle. Yeah. Uzobabheka lama players wathandayo ayi2. Athi boys, it's time for war now. Mshishi, you will motivate from the bench. Really, you will model from the bench. Last your attacker. Adams.
No, because I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying. Do you think that at some point as South Africans we just have to accept, good guys, there's a way we want to play? Simnandi se but yazini guys realistically.
Khona indlela yokudlala for ama results. Khona lesiyithandayo. Lesiyithandayo so buya sidlale mesibuyi. Maka le awona Muremi Maseko lapha ema winging. Uphethe Mokwena no Adams lapha ku double 8. Uvale ngoMbogazi la ashaya iback 3. Bano Ndamane no Okon. plus sinala makhehla lawa angafuni ukukhula. Umutawu no Mudiba on the wing backs. They're still behaving like kids. They don't know which fouls to make. They don't know how to be like. Umbokazi has to babysit. Okon has to babysit Umutawu. Okon has to tell Umutawu it's lahle. It's not safe. You understand? Even this side which Mudiba come pass and page. Under pressure. Last way, like Umbokazi has to cross. Because you can see which Lana. Sekukhulunywa nomuntu. When Umbokazi is right in front of the line. Ashayi ibhola lahle lemastenzini ukhuluma nomuntu ibuthi emfethu akolahle bolo intuthu tsalona tsetsa hore 1-1 letogishisa letso le club world cup kwa la khutla le une di hearts mo re batla wina nka bone le lahlele kwa you understand so abomodiba they need that guidance and Undamane if he has cover Mbokazi ashobrecha Mbokazi he can cover Umodiba. And I can't take away from both Umudiba and Umutawu. They are good players in their own right. So I'm just saying, let's give them enough cover.
It's Kutsia. It's Kutsia for Sundowns. What Kutsia used to do.
Exactly, Mr. Uti. We have a cover. We have a cover. And then someone upon me, Mr. Uti, because you are trying to chance no must pass. No mas ukuthi siyampasa or asimpasa ubona Messi la ukayitima Messi uyayibona inwile ufoster ukuthi siyampasa or umpasa yena uzomesa uthathe lapho la Messi asazi so I'm just saying simfake ayozimesela i1 nama chance awathola from ukuthi i-defender ability liphasa ugoalkeeper wavela ufoster walhlongoloza so that's what I'm saying ukuthi let's go ne lineup that's set to at least get us 4 points. If you can go in a defensive lineup against Mexico, singaba mnandi. If you can go in a specific lineup against South Korea, ubheke bona Mr. Uti. Ubheke bona uProsmela kaya machita italk ukuthi ningabanyathi labantu. Ubheke South Korea ukuthi if you can go for South Korea and Mexico, let's say Europe lezi especially about Czechoslovakia abo Denmark. Zinokufika nje out of nowhere zikunike 5. Ungazi ukuthi kanjani yabo. So that's what I'm saying. Ubheke nje the hosts especially Miss Ngaba frustrator for 60 minutes and then they get against them and then I have a comment, Mr. Uti. Thank you, Mr. Uti.
Thank you. Hey guys, now I have to go. I need to post now. This is the window. Okay, so my thoughts are going to be out in an hour. This is all I want to say. I'm going to repeat this again because when we say these things, Tinabati, we're hating, we're this, we're that. Guys, there's a reality to playing international football at a high level. The reality is that it's not about skill. You're not going to be outplayed usually. You're not going to be out nannied. You're not going to be out jigad. You're not going to be out whatever. Those guys are going to sit there. They're going to get 2 chances. They're going to score their 2 chances. They're going to sit at the back and be structured and disciplined. That's what is the difference. 2 mistakes, 2 goals, you go home. And I've said this before that we saw this with Sundowns Club World Cup. We've seen it with Sundowns when they go play Champions League later. We've seen it with Pirates when they go play Champions League. We've seen it. It's not that they were better than you. So if we are basing our football on being better, we are going to see a lot of problems when we go there. We said it last week. That starting lineup, Yabos Tole, number Foster, that we were complaining about in the first half, they created 4 clear-cut chances, not half chances, clear. Omuntu mistile, umuremu umiste, far post, Foster. That ugly team created 4. Le emnandi engene second half, and the team that played this game, the majority of this game, they look good, they pass well, they do this well, they do that well. But when you look at the chances right now, 6-3 chances, 7-5 from Panama. That is the truth of international football. That is the truth of top level. Sundowns looked better than Dortmund. Sundowns won the heart and minds of the world. They lost 4-3 that game. Why? Problems because of set pieces. Here, set piece again was an issue. Mistake was an issue. Goal, you go home. Panama's won 2-1. This is why Panama's number 34. But see, we need to leave this thing of beautiful football. And then also, we're making a very big mistake You played a certain way to get you to the dance. Don't get to the dance and try and be too smart when you get there now. Do what you are doing. If Makgopa and Tembazwane and this type of archetype of player and playing defensively got you to a certain place, play that football. Those guys were not playing. They have not played up to this point. You look at Riles hardly played for the national team. Bruce was picking people ahead of him. Slow City, no, now we want this one, now we want that one, no, but you must bring that one, no, you must put this one would have scored. Yeah, those guys were all there. And don't forget that up until Bruce, besbafaka bonke, bafake bonke. Imagine since 2002, when we last qualified straight, how many star players have come? Sabafaka bonke, Shawalala, on top of Mudise, on top of Yeye, on top of Kahushu, on top of Lona, on top of that one. This is the first time, Bruce, in the last few years that we've done what we've done. And unfortunately, it's been with football that we don't like. Can't be now going into a World Cup saying, no, but we must bring that one and bring that one and bring. I'm seeing a comment here about Williams. Marasiri, you're unfair. How many times have we seen Williams concede that same goal from a set piece? We complain about Sundowns set pieces all the time when they play against good teams. But anyway, guys, my thoughts in full are going to be out in about an hour's time. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and do all of those nice things, guys. Kopa following. If it's your first time here, please follow. We do this every match day. If Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana Bafana, Banyana are in action. Hey, we're gonna add Kaizer Chiefs ladies. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you then on the next one. Bye everyone. Agent, we've seen this before. International football, high-level football is simple. It's simple. He who makes the least mistakes wins the game. Guthi mnandi, guthi yalazi, guthi unjani njani, ucream, what. I don't know, agent, I don't know if you're going to go live. And lastly, hey, at the risk of being called a hater, I asked a simple question when people said, Nangu Reinas, who's going to feed Reinas? But check it how many times the balls were the wrong ball to the striker. Even when they're showing the highlights, it was the wrong ball. You put Sales there, you put Santos there, you put Ribeiro there, you put the internationals, they know how to feed them. Do we know how to feed them? But guys, Talibana, sharp guys.